So, a lot of us have heard the saying, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, right? Well, it took me all the way up till now to finally understand what it means because it's kind of confusing. But what it means is, like a box of chocolates, you think you know what's all there. So, once you, like in life, once you think everything's finally fallen in place, life is going to throw a challenge at you. Like for Forrest Gump, for instance, when he was younger, he had leg braces and he couldn't bend his knees, and he always got bullied for that. And one day he was getting bullied, and the bullies were throwing rocks at him. And Jenny, one of his best friends, came and protected him. And she was yelling at him, "Run, Forrest, run!" Well, Forrest, it's hard to run in leg braces because it keeps your knees from bending. Well, he was running so fast he broke out of them, and he cured himself somehow. And so Jenny, she didn't have a good childhood because her mother died when she was young. Her father was an abusive alcoholic. Now, Forrest, on the other hand, he had a pretty good childhood besides the bullying part. Because when he was bullied, when he was running after Jenny told him to, he ran through a football practice, and the Alabama coach, he was a scout, he saw him and he was faster than anyone on the field, so he gave him a scholarship. And Forrest played 5 full years there, and he got All American. And since he got All American, he got to meet the president at the time, which was JFK. And so after that, he went home and he was walking by the recruiter's office, and he joined the army just because he didn't know what else to do. And he went to war with his guys, and when they got under attack, he remembers Jenny telling him, "If you're ever in trouble, run. Don't try to be a hero." Well, Forrest ran, and then he realized his best friend Bubba, that joined with him, was in there still. So he ran back into the fire. He, on the way to get Bubba, he picked up everyone on his shoulders one at a time and took them to safety and came back. Well, he finally found Bubba, and when he found Bubba, he was shot. So he put him on his shoulder, and then an explosion went off and blew them aside, blew them away. Well, Bubba ended up dying. So Forrest, he ran back and he found Lieutenant Dan, which Lieutenant Dan didn't want him saving because he wanted to die in battle. And so he saved him, and Lieutenant Dan hated him for the longest time. So when they get back to the United States, Forrest Gump receives the Medal of Honor because he got shot in his butt when he was running. And after all of that settled down, he went to he went and spoke in front of a lot of people to show what he did for it, and he pulled down his pants because his mom always says stupid is as stupid does, so he pulled down his pants showing him the wound in his butt. So when he was in the military, he would always play ping pong for fun, but he would destroy everybody. So when he got back into the States, they saw that, and he became an All-American ping pong player. He joined the All-American ping pong team. They went played in China. He got a lot of money, having his own paddles, um, cups, mugs, T-shirts, headbands, all of that. But what he always wanted to do, ever since he met Bubba, was become a shrimp boat captain, because Bubba back then, when he was younger, he was on shrimp boats all the time with his family. He always got shrimp to get their money. Well, so with the money he got from the ping pong and all of that, he gave half of it to Bubba's family because they didn't have Bubba anymore and they couldn't do anything. So he finally, then over New Year's, he met up with Lieutenant Dan again, and he told him, I want to be a shrimp boat captain. Will you be my first man?" He said, "Sure." Well, they went back to the Lieutenant Dan's room to drink and stuff. Well, Lieutenant Dan brought over two prostitutes, and Forrest Gump pushed the girl off and said, "You get off me!" And they called Forrest some names and made fun of him. Lieutenant Dan finally stuck up for him and told them both to leave. And then he asked him why he pushed him off. He said, "She tastes like cigarettes." So after they went on their strip boat tour and stuff, Forrest, it's unlucky to not name your boat. And once Forrest got good at shrimping, he had a lot of boats. So he named them all Jenny. It'd be Jenny 1, Jenny 2, Jenny 3. And so Forrest Gump and Lieutenant Dan were shrimping one day when Forrest gets the call from Jenny that his mom died. So he jumped off the boat and swam all the way to his house and ran the rest. So then he ends up he runs across the whole world, across the whole country, just because he doesn't know what to do. And Jenny always told him to run. And a lot of people nowadays always try to hold on. If they have a crush or anything, they try to hold on to him and don't let him go. But in life, if you love something, you're supposed to let it go, and if it's meant to be, they'll come back. Well, Forrest let Jenny go. She did her own things, and finally she realized the person she's meant to be with is Forrest. So she came back and he accepted her. They ended up getting married and had a baby together, and they named him Forrest. And so she told him, "You're the dad." And so that's how life is like a box of chocolates. Forrest had all the way from being bullied to being one of the best people in the world, getting a Medal of Honor. He supported Bubba's family. So in life, whenever you feel like you finally have everything figured out, life is going to throw something at you to try to knock you down. But it doesn't matter if it knocks you down. It all depends on if you get back up or not.